Hi, my name's Mike and I'm the founder of the DJ Business Academy. Now this video is going to share with you 10 top tips that got me DJ gigs in 5 different countries in less than a year. Now 2 years ago, I was stuck in a job that really had me feeling trapped and actually quite depressed. But I figured it out. I managed to get DJ gigs in the UK, Bali, Thailand, Vietnam, and India with some of the advice that I'm going to share with you now. Booking DJ gigs is sales, and there is honestly no way around it, so there's no point trying to shy away from it now. If you are scared of rejection, it's going to stop you going out and contacting people, sharing your music, and trying to share all the stuff that you're so passionate about. You have to get over that mindset and stop taking rejection personally. For example, when I first went to India, which was the first country I went on my journey DJing around different places, I didn't have any contacts there. I had no idea about the music scene and no idea about the venues. I decided I would visit a venue every day, introduce myself and tell them I was a DJ and try and get gigs. And guess what? I got a lot of no's, but I didn't let it stop me. And very quickly, I started getting regular work and it really paid off. If you can separate yourself from rejection, view it as part of the process, you will succeed. And this will give you a massive advantage over 90% of other DJs in the scene. DJs who act like dicks will get left out. Now, in any scene, in any country, there are a lot of egos in the DJ scene. And one of the best ways that you can get ahead is to not let yourself be one of them. So there are lots of people, for example, who will gatekeep DJ gigs, gatekeep clubs. Maybe they don't want to help you out because they're afraid of you taking their job or whatever. Or actually, it can even get much worse than that, and people just with very bad attitude problems. But if you rise above that, if you always provide opportunities to other people, you help everyone around, and you always act friendly, always be yourself, smile when you're working with other people, that is massively remembered. And people do really take that on board when they think about you in future. So how you act now will massively dictate the opportunities that you will start getting 6 months or a year down the line. So don't limit yourself by acting out and being all attitudey. Just be a nice person and it will pay back dividends massively. You can't get booked from staying behind your laptop. Now, this is one of the biggest ones, the biggest tips which I attribute to my success in getting gigs in 5 different countries, is having in-person, real-life conversations. DMs are okay, emails can work sometimes, but nothing beats actually walking into a venue or meeting a promoter and talking to them as a real human being face to face. It just gives you so much more opportunities to build a better rapport, to answer any questions directly they might have, to find out if you actually need to be speaking to someone else and to get that contact immediately. This will honestly set you apart from so many other DJs because everyone else is just sending really like half-arsed DMs saying, I'd like to play here. Have you got any openings? Don't be that guy. Be the person who walks in confidently, smiles and says, it's lovely to meet you. I absolutely love your venue. Is there any potential opportunity for me DJing here? What would that look like? What do you need to see from me? It will change your life if you start doing that a couple of times every week with a new venue. Most DJs don't get booked because their pitch actually sucks. You can't just walk into a club and say, hey, can I DJ here? It's not going to work. It's cheap. They get it all the time. But if you are walking in, that is slightly better than doing it on a DM. So every time I reach out, there is a set structure that I follow, okay? And it's called PVPCF. Now, the P stands for personalize. You want to talk about something personal about their venue that you like. Or if it's an event organizer, it's the event. The next one is value. You want to explain the value that you're bringing. So yes, as a DJ, your sound should perfectly fit the event or the venue style. And that is value you're adding. But you should be going beyond that. Can you bring people to the event? Can you create content? Do you promote it on social media beforehand? What is it that you're doing that gives extra value? Because that's going to make you so much more likely to get booked. The next letter is P, which stands for proof. You need to show them proof of what you can do. So if you have a video of you DJing, send that to them. Better yet, if you're speaking to them in person, show them the video on your phone. Show them your highlight reel. Show them the best gig you've done. When you show someone the actual evidence that you can do what you're telling them, they're so much more likely to see it, believe it, and just give you the opportunity. The next letter is C, which stands for close. Give a very small, attainable goal, which you can both complete for the next steps. So what do I mean by that? Well, do you have 10, if I was sending a DM, do you have 10 minutes later today where we can have a WhatsApp call and I can explain to you more about my sound and my vision? Or if you're meeting someone in person, they might say, you need to speak to the music director. Okay, well, you would say, when is the best opportunity that I can come in just for 5 minutes, make it small, make it easy, that I can speak with you and the music director, because I am really, really passionate about playing here. So that's P, V, P, and C. And the last one is a special one, follow up. Now, most sales conversations and sales touch points in all businesses only close after 5 to 8 touch points. But probably 99% of DJs will stop after sending just one message. If you only message a venue once and you're getting ignored, you're wasting an opportunity by then not following up 5 days later, another 5 days later. And you don't have to be rude, just politely say, hey, did you get a chance to look at my message? I imagine you're really busy. I'm really keen to play here. And there's been so many opportunities where I've got gigs just from doing that, from making sure that I follow up. So make sure that you have a pitch system, PVPCF. Personalize, add value, add proof, close, and follow up. A 30-second video is worth more than any bio. You have to start showing people proof to get more DJ bookings. Now, there's a few ways that this can actually look. Number one, you should have an EPK, which is basically an online portfolio that shows your best work. Number two, be posting your content regularly on social media. For honest, most DJs, that's now their portfolio. And this is where you can demonstrate what it is that you actually do, what your music style is. And it's the easiest way to direct a booker or a venue or an event organizer to your social media so they can see everything. And number three is, I said this in previous tips, but have in real life conversations. And when you go, have an idea of the best video mixes you've done or the best audio mixes you've done and show them there in person, because it's just going to create such a better idea in their head that you are prepared, you understand what they're after, and you've actually got the proof and the credentials that you've done it. So always show proof, have proof readily available, whether that's in an EPK, social media, have your Google Drive links, your SoundCloud links ready to go, and always show them to people, whether you're online or in person. You're not just a DJ. You are an asset to any business that you work for. And so the way you should be communicating with them in accordance to that is by explaining how you add value. Now, basic ones every DJ should do is you should research the sound that they want at the event and explain how your playing style fits perfectly for that. And here's a tip. If your playing style doesn't fit perfectly for that, probably not the place you want to be DJing at. Now, that's one of the main ways you're going to add value. You need to show that you're educated on what they want and then be able to clearly explain and show proof, videos, mixes, that you can meet that. But what are the other ways that you can add value? Well, this is one of the biggest things which sets you apart from other DJs. And one of the ways that I got gigs in India, Thailand, and Vietnam was by doing something extra. So I started a YouTube channel and I started recording DJ sets in different venues. And what I did was I would walk into a venue and say, I would love to DJ here. I think I've got the perfect sound for this venue. But in addition to that, I'm also going to record the DJ set for my YouTube channel, and I'm going to share the content with you for free, for no additional cost on top of what you would pay me for DJing. And straight away, that sets me apart from so many other people that they're getting messages from, because I'm offering something different. So always think, what value can you add to them as a business? Can you bring more people, which therefore creates, more sales and drink sales and things? Can you keep people in the club longer, which again directly affects revenue? Or maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you have a creative act. For example, more commercial places love things like DJs who wear big outfits and stuff. Not my kind of thing, but it definitely works for some people. Maybe you have dancers who come with you. Maybe you have a live instrumentalist. All of these things are adding more value. Or maybe you help create content of your DJ sets and you share it. Maybe you help promote it on social media. There are honestly so many different options, but you really do need to think of one or two things that you give extra in order to put you in the best possible position to start booking more gigs. So, always do that. Add value. Keep it in mind in every conversation that you have. Most DJs stop after just one message, and that's why they lose potential gigs. Following up is one of the easiest things you can do to start securing more bookings right now. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because most sales cycles will only close after 5 to 8 touch points. Now, that's not specific to just the DJ industry. That's specific to all business. So if that's the case, why do you feel like it's okay to just message one time? The simple answer is, it isn't. Now, there's a really, really important part to this. If you're going to be able to follow up effectively, you need to be able to separate yourself from the anxiety and the stress and the feeling that, oh, that person hasn't replied to me because they don't like my profile, they're not interested in DJs yet, they don't like my music, whatever it is. 90% of the time, that is not the case. They're often just too busy. Or maybe even you've reached through to the wrong person. Perhaps they've hired a new social media manager who's been working there for 2 months, has seen your message, and they're not that intrinsically motivated to pass you on. They're just trying to post the content and do their job. So if you only message once, you're missing out on the opportunities that could come from messaging again. If you follow up, you might catch that person at a time where they're less busy and they're in a better mood and they're more likely to reply. Or maybe if you keep getting through to that person who at first wasn't really motivated to pass you on, they start seeing your persistence and think, oh, well, he's clearly or she's clearly very passionate and really, really wants this gig. And so then they'll pass you on. Now, there is a caveat to this. You need to do it in a way that isn't annoying. So you need to be really polite with your message. Just say, hey, I'm really, really interested in playing here. I expect you're very busy. Did you get a moment to have a look at the profile I sent you last week? Just something very light like that can be a really, really strong touch. So please make sure you follow up, because you are literally losing potential work every time you only message someone once. If you're not tracking your outreach, you are going to miss out on really, really valuable opportunities. Please, please, please don't rely on your memory. When you're having conversations with people, write it down on a spreadsheet. Say, you've messaged these venues today. Did they reply? No. When are you going to follow up? It is so important to get into good habits early on, because honestly, when you first start, you're not going to need to do this. But after a couple of months, you'll start having more people in your DMs, more people emailing you, more people messaging you, and you won't know when is the right time to reply to each of these people, or if you've not got a response, when to reach out again. And what that means is other people are getting into the opportunities that potentially could have been yours. You've done the hard work, you've said hello to someone, you've sent them your profile, they actually quite liked you, but you're just not right for now. Maybe they've got a full DJ roster, and then 2 months later, maybe a DJ has left. So there's now a space. If you were tracking that and you knew to have monthly touch points just to check in and find out, there's a very good chance you would get that opportunity. But if you're not tracking your outreach, there's a high likelihood that after a month, you've actually forgotten about that conversation and you are missing a real valuable opportunity. Remember, it only takes one conversation to get a residency. And then that's regular work for each week or each month. And then that in turn will help you get the next one. So you want to give yourself the best possible chance of being the first person that any event organizer, any club, any promoter thinks of. And one of the best ways to do this is to be organized and track your outreach. Why fight over clubs when you can be targeting cafes, bars, beach bars, and smaller venues instead? Sometimes the best idea, especially if you're at the start of your DJ career, is to focus on those underserved venues. Go where the competition isn't, and you're going to create so much of an easier time for yourself. So when I started DJing in India and then also Thailand, I didn't just start walking into the biggest clubs and trying to get gigs there, because I knew it would be initially a much more difficult conversation. Instead, I started scoping out the best and coolest looking cafes, beach venues, and going to them and pitching an idea that I wanted to do a DJ set and I wanted to film it as well, and that I would try and get a few people around the local area to come. They were always really, really open to these ideas. Even the places that said no really entertained the conversation, and actually a few of them, when I went back later, I managed to get gigs there as well. This was much easier than targeting those big venues where you've got lots of DJs fighting. Just make life easier for yourself. The aim here is to get consistent, regular work. And when you start getting that in those smaller venues, those medium-sized venues will take note. And when you get in those medium-sized venues, those bigger-sized venues will start taking note. It's a chain. Just start focusing on what you can do realistically now and think outside the box. Target the underserved venues, target those smaller venues. They're going to be a lot more thankful for it and a lot more open to those initial conversations. The DJ who does more wins more. Full stop. This is actually probably my biggest tip for people who want more gigs and want to get successful in the industry. You are going to have to work harder than most other people. And the best bit is, this actually isn't that difficult. And that's because most DJs aren't actually visiting places in person because they're too uncomfortable to do that. They don't want to get out of that comfort zone. Most DJs are only messaging someone once because they don't want to be perceived as annoying, when actually following up shows how passionate you are and how much you care. And so to actually be a level above 90% of the people out there, you just need to do that bit more. And what that looks like is you going out and visiting venues and events that you are passionate about in person, introducing yourself. It means that every week you are messaging and interacting and supporting the community around you and just throwing in what you want to get back out. You need to talk to people, you need to put yourself out there, and you need to do it consistently. This is the biggest thing which is going to set yourself apart from other people. And it's not going to give you instant returns in a month, but 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, people will know who you are, and opportunities will start coming your way. This is what I've done in every single country that I've got DJ gigs in so far. I went out, I spoke to people. I got some yeses, I got more nos. And I didn't care about the no's because I conducted myself in a polite, respectful manner. I was smiley and I wouldn't take that rejection personally. And then sometimes I would actually just go back a month later and say, hey, I've now DJ'd at these 2 other places in the local area. Does that change anything? Would you now be interested? And often they would then say yes. Don't take rejection personally, because that is the biggest thing which is going to stop you from doing more volume to everyone else. Start knocking on doors, start having conversations, and just act how you would want others to act to you. Be kind, be respectful, and you will do well. So if you made it this far, a big thank you for listening to all 10 tips. The final thing that I really want to get across is that I got gigs in all these places, not because I was lucky, and not even that I was the most gifted and talented DJ. I got gigs because I followed a system and worked at it consistently. And the thing is, you can do it too. It's not even that difficult. And if you are interested in learning how to do this, that is why I've created the DJ Business Academy. It's a 12-week program to help beginner and intermediate DJs start landing more regular paid bookings, turning these into residencies, and then creating a strategy to start creating even bigger gigs from that as well. I have free strategy call spaces that are open right now. So if you want some free support, please do get in touch. I would be more than happy to help.